Well, good morning, maybe good afternoon to some, or even good evening to some folks out there. How you doing? Now let's make sure we have a chart and sound. Can I get a thumbs up somewhere just so I know? Hey, Sully, Jan, Ed, thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Good morning, David. Hey, Johnny, good night. Johnny is one of those in the good night area, right? Oh, I hope everybody's doing great. Hey, I hope today's been doing good for you. Well, for you. Here's a little something I mentioned this morning in the members room. Maybe you could do it. I mean, do it right now if you'd like. And you don't have to post anything in the room. I'm not looking for that. But just take a look at your portfolio, your trading portfolio, and just write down what the number is, what it's worth. Just write it down, and then come Friday, analyze that. It's real simple. Are you, is your number higher? Is your number higher or is your number lower? And there is no in between, because the odds of you being right at the exact same number are just insanely high. So that's not likely to be. You're either going to be $1 more, $1 less. So anyway, just take a look at that, and I think that's a good gauge how you might be doing, what might be going on, maybe for you anyway, in the market. So this is something I do all the time. Every day I have a pad of paper here. I make notes all day long. And that's one of the things I have that I write up there as well. What's my account worth? And then follow it from day to day. I don't get too excited if it's down one day. I don't get overly excited if it's down 2 days. But if it's down 3 days in a row, I start to get excited. It's like, why? Why is it down? What is going on? What am I missing? What am I doing wrong? I go try to figure that stuff out, and I find it very, very helpful. So anyway, overall, hey J.E., how you doing? Overall, I don't particularly have a topic today. Whatever you guys would like to talk about, I'd be glad to do what I can. If I don't know the answer, I'm not bashful. I will tell you I do not know the answer. So let me leave that out there. You guys ponder it, guys and gals. You ponder it, and if you have a question here, shoot it at me. Otherwise, we'll just kind of, pick things up here. Something you might ask yourself is, why are you here right now? Why are you listening? And that could be a good topic. I mean, what is your answer? Let me know. See what I can do. Anyway, in the meantime, let's talk about the market a little bit. First of all, for those that don't know, I always count a day as, or a gap as a day. And I do that because the reality is, even though we have a gap, that's what the candle looks like. And if I go back and look at history, it really, the gap, you add the gap in there, it's always more than what's typical, always. So I divide it up. I do that. The way I get around that is, in my mind, I just count the gaps as a day. Okay, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days up. Now that's just one of the little quirks with me, and it works for me. So with 6 days up, and tomorrow we've got that CPI number at 8:30 Eastern in the morning, I have to ask myself, is this the best timing to be buying long right now? Is this the best place to be buying long? Now, My answer is no. Phil's or David's or My's or J.E.'s, Johnny's. Your answers could be absolutely. Your answers could be hell yeah. Buy away. This market is bullish, rock and roll, and that's okay. That's all right. Again, I want to go back to the first thing. Write down on your piece of paper what your portfolio is worth, and at the end of the week, write down what it's worth then. And then, if you're up, then whatever your decision was, be crazy bullish, or maybe sit on your hands, or maybe be bearish. You'll know if that was a correct decision or not. And that's just, doing that exercise might help with timing, when to trade, when to be long, when to be short, maybe when to just be satisfied with what you have, your positions you have, or, maybe even in cash. So that's something there. Anyway, those are some good ideas. So really what I'm looking for here is a pullback. And I think that pullback will offer, and here's another thing too. I cannot say if a pullback is going to lead to retesting these lows or even lower. I can't say that. I don't know. And honestly, I don't think anybody here knows either. You may have a gut feeling, but that we don't trade with gut feelings. We take Imodium for that. And I don't know if maybe tomorrow we're just going to rocket ship up. I don't know. I think that's unlikely. But, that's not true. If the CPI number is correct, or if the market likes the CPI number, then, yeah, the market could do that. So right now I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback here. I'll watch for a buy signal if we need to get long. We'll watch for a short signal if we need to get short. Just simply that right there. So, hey, I do have a question over here. David is asking, I always need ideas about setting stops and risk. That's easy. Let me see if I can find a chart here that, whoops, unable to connect. I don't know why. FISB, there we go. Now that's not the chart I want. Journ. Oh, let's use Journ right here. So let's take Journ, and let me read that question again. It says, Rick, I always need ideas about setting stops and risk. It really is, I think, one of the most easiest things out there. For the past 3 months, I have whoops, wait a second here. Oh, what did I just do? Come on. All right, video's back on. I'm going to talk about this bill, and then I want to talk about wait for it, okay? Wait for it. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So Bill is asking again before I was rudely interrupted by my program crashing here. I always need ideas about setting up stops and risk. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to be able to look at a chart and understand a chart. Honestly, if you can't understand what you see in this chart, then setting up stops and risks, you shouldn't even be there yet. It should be about the chart first. Let me give you an example. Everybody should be able to look at this chart and say to themselves, there's a trend. You don't need to draw crap. You just need to look at it and say it's in a trend. I mean, you don't need to draw a line. You don't need to spend 5 minutes getting it right on that low, and you don't need to go to that low or this low. Just look at the chart. If you can't see that, then quite honestly, worried about a stop or risk, you're not there yet, okay? And David, I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just I'm just going to talk about this as a whole, okay? So bear with me, please. If you can't clearly see that this candle has popped us up and we're moving sideways, and that's what we're doing, you know, if you're going to try to connect that low with this low, with this low, with that low, if you're going to try to needle this thing under a microscope, you're not ready for risk and stops yet. If you cannot see that that is a top right here and we are flirting with that top, we've not broken out, we've not broken down, we're flirting, okay? You're so close to the line, you're flirting. If you can't see that, then you're not ready for risk and reward. If you can't make sense of this sideways chart pattern, now I'm going to call this a pop out of the box. You certainly don't have to call it a pop out of the box. Main thing is, if you can't make sense of this chart pattern, then you're probably not ready for risk, stops, things like that, okay? I'm going to get rid of all this right now. If you cannot see that we have a trend right here, and this top, if you can't see that it's making setting up for a breakout, then you're probably not ready for that stuff. So once you can see all that in a chart, now you're ready. So now let's think about it. Now that you've said everything about this chart you may like, if you've run across something you don't like, then certainly say it. There's actually nothing about this chart I don't like. I love this chart every which way from Sunday. So here's how I'm going to set it up. I'm going to ask myself, why do I like this chart? Well, for all the reasons I just spoke of. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move closer to the hard right edge, because that's where I'm going to put my money. I'm not going to put my money back here. I'm not going to put my money back here. I'm going to put my money right here. So what I'm going to do is focus on this. So what I see here, nice big move up. I see us make a high, a lower high. We didn't make a higher high, and that's okay. But what's not okay is if we break those lows. That is not okay. So I will not like this chart below $2.53. Now, that's the first spot. The reality is, when I buy a chart, I'm sort of, I'm just sort of this way. When I buy a chart, I expect the chart to, we're talking long, okay? So if I buy this chart long, I expect the chart to move up. I do not expect the chart to move down. And I'm okay with a little bit of dancing, a little bit. I'm not okay with bigger moves to the downside, like to 253. I'm not really okay with that, because my goal and the tools I use, there should be no reason why I can't be on top of these trades. So I'm not going to use that as a stop. I'm going to use this candle right here as a stop. Now I think my risk is worthwhile. So what I'm going to do is put the buy box here, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and paint this red like I always do. Okay. And there's my buy area. And if I buy it at the top of this box, then I'm looking at about 5.7% risk. Again, unless you can go through and talk about everything I've just talked about in this chart, maybe even more, some people might talk about more, I think for the most part, I think I'm a minimalist on a chart. And I think what I did was pretty simple, pretty uninvolved, pretty straightforward. So I think that is, at least you have to do that. So there you go. Does that help, David? And thank you for a wonderful question. And if you have another question on that, please ask, okay? Now let's wait for it, okay? Let's talk about wait for it. So there are some traders that say, let's see, Ed, what buy, the stock or the call? Let's see, EID, I'm just going to say Ed because I'm afraid I just don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize. So your question, a stock or a long call. What about you? What would you do? What would you do? And let me finish this out just a little bit. I'm going to go to a weekly chart just so I can see way over here, okay? And I'm going to put a target of, about right here. And then I'm going to put another target, in this neighborhood. Now I'm going to go back to the daily. Now I'm going to set this chart up for the way I typically set it up. There we go. So now we have about 25.5% up to this 327. So there's my trade plan, and this would be a target. This $3 area would be a $3 target. Okay, Ed, Ed's question to me was, would this be a stock or an option? My question back to Ed, for those that's not into sales, that's called the porcupine sales technique, is where the salesman takes the porcupine and throws it back to the customer, by the way. So I just threw that porcupine back to the customer, and the customer came back and said, stock. Perfect. So Ed, it really doesn't matter what I do. What matters is what you do. So if you think that is a stock trade, it's a stock trade. If you think it's an option trade, it's an option trade. Doesn't matter what I do. What insight can I give you there? If you want to buy an option, there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to make sure it meets your option qualifications. For me, if I bought an option, it would be 40 plus days out. It would have to be around a 70 delta, and it would have to have plenty open interest. There you go. It could be an option trade too. Or your answer being a stock trade, I totally agree with you, a stock trade. So again, it really, what is it you do? That's the important thing, okay? That's the important thing. All righty. All right, now let's wait for it, okay? This is important, okay? Let's wait for it. Some traders are buying it right now. And if that's the case, the wait for it, what I'm going to get to, wait for it, it would be alerting you today as well. Now, other traders are going to wait till it actually breaks out. And that's the wait for it part. Well, even down in here is the wait for it part. So what if somebody is sitting here today and they say to themselves, man, we've got these CPI numbers tomorrow. I'm pretty much petrified. I'm scared, okay? I don't want to trade right now. I want to be in cash. I don't want the risk out there right now. Somebody might look at, let me write this stock down before I forget it, Jern. Somebody might be looking at the SPY, and you might say that we're 4 candles up, and we're putting in a shooting star here. Well, man, because of the market and because of the numbers tomorrow, well, this might not be the chart you want to get in. Well, there might not be any long chart you want to get into. And we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We don't know what Wednesday is going to bring, Thursday or Friday. But if this chart holds up, and if it does this right here, well, if it just stays right through here, and gives us a bullish candle. Here, let's set this up maybe bullishly. So let's go black, and we're going to come down here and put a doji in, right? And then we're going to come up here and put a candle like this in. You got to know that's going to catch somebody's attention here, right? Only if you're looking at it. Otherwise, you'll never see it. The other thing that could happen is maybe a doji, and maybe we just flat break out here. Once again, unless you're staring at this, you're never going to see it. But if you put it on a watch list with live trading alerts, it will alert you for this. It will absolutely alert you for this. And this is what I do with stock. This is how I'm able to buy trades. And the win rate is higher than most, okay? I think my win rate is higher than most. And it's because using the tools, I can look at this and say, all right, I can wait for it. I can wait for that breakout. I can wait for, say, a 3/8 trap, for instance. A 3/8 trap that's working. I can be alerted to that. I can be alerted to those stocks that is making an inside day. You know, maybe my scan I'm looking at calls for a recent cross over the 50-period moving average, and that's a very real scan for me. A recent cross, say, the past 7 days, right? And then maybe a 3/8 trap after that, or maybe below the highest high in the past 5 days, something like that, 3 days. See how that might give you that look like this? So wait for it. Wait for it. With where the market is right now, I would be petrified being too long at the moment. Knowing that those CPI numbers are coming out tomorrow, I would be shaking in my boots if I closed today with a bunch of long positions in my possession. Now, I don't feel the answer is being insanely short. I don't feel that's the answer either. This is why I'm going to wait for it. I'm going to find those charts, whether they're long or they're short. I'm going to put them on that watch list, and I'm going to wait for it. I'm going to wait for that alert that says, hey, go look at it. You know, I'm going to wait for the alert that says Apple is pulling back intraday. I'm going to wait for the alert that says Apple is a 3/8 trap, or whatever I'm looking for. Ed, Phil, J.E., Johnny, David, Bill there, all may have a different way to look at a chart or a different way to enter the chart, and that's perfectly fine, perfectly fine. But somewhere you've got to have this mechanism so you can calmly, that's important, calmly wait for it. Just sit back and wait for it. Anybody ever see those videos, Facebook or whatever social media, where it pops up and it says, wait for it, and there's something funny, you know, that's usually what it is, something funny going to happen, and they tell you, wait for it, wait for the funny part. That's what the scanner does. It alerts you when that time comes. So anyway, I hope that made sense. Yeah, I hope that made sense. Okay, that's probably all I have to say about that. Any questions out here? Again, why are you here? And that right there is your question. So why are you here? Are you ask about a stock, about a chart, ask about a scan, ask about what I'm having for lunch today if you want. You name it. You name it. I'll just kind of wait patiently here. Okay, thanks. Rick B. His question, his reason for being here, learn how to trade. Rick, this is what we do all day long in the hit run candlestick room. Right Way Option does it all day in the Right Way Options room. We even have a free trading room that we do that in. Now you need to take this to the next step and ask specific questions. Okay, ask specific questions. And while I was talking there, for those that don't know, he also wrote me another question here. Learn how Rick Sadler trades. You want to know how I trade? This is number one, is download the live trading alert scanner. Look, a plumber has to have tools that a plumber uses. A mechanic has to have tools that a mechanic uses. A teacher has to have tools that a teacher uses. An architect, tools that an architect uses. A doctor, same thing. A trader, it amazes me how traders are the cheapest SOBs I've ever seen on earth. It is amazing. It is amazing. And I'm being serious. Come on. You got to know there's people within my voice that every day after work or at 4 o'clock, you pour yourself a toddy or 3 toddies or 4 toddies that equals about $40, right? Everybody within my voice, there's bound to be somebody here that's a smoker, but you'll spend $100 a week in smoking. It cracks me up. But yet, too doggone cheap to get the live trading alert scanner, which will make you the money to pour more toddies and to buy more smokes. It's insane. Traders are the cheapest bunch of people I've ever seen in my life. I'm serious. So, you want to see how Rick Sadler trades? This is what Rick Sadler does. Rick will load up the scanner just like this. I'm going to make this, it already is on stop. And I will look at charts that pop up like this. EQT. Whoops. EQT. I'm alerted every day on scans. And I will come through here and decide, do I want to buy this? Do I want to buy this? And here's some things that I'm going to consider. And I'm going to go through and look at a whole bunch of trades right now till we find one, or I will talk about why I won't do it, okay? So here's one that's up 4 days in a row. That's a big negatory, do not buy. We've got a high over here with a bunch of wicks. Big negatory, do not buy. This right here is simply a moving average crossover scan. Let's go look at PXD. There's PXD. It moved over my moving average, but we're up 1, 2, 3, 4 days. No way. I have to wait for a pullback. So let's come over here and see if we can find something like Lulu. Lulu. And just so you know, I'm not making this up. It was there. There it is right there, Lulu. There's Lulu. Stay on top. There you go. See how we're up and see how we're pulling back? That's what I'm looking at. That's exactly how I trade. And Mike there, LTA, best scanner in the world. I'm going to rephrase what he said. It's the best tool in the world for trading. Yeah, it's the best tool. So you want to know how I trade? I all day long, I'm building a watch list. And what I will do is I will put the watch list on the scanner and I trade only from the scanner. There are those times that, say, somebody like Mike throws out a chart that I don't see coming up on the scanner for me, but I like the chart so well, I will buy it. Now that's pretty rare. Truly, that is rare. More than likely, I will put it on the scanner like this, and when I see it move, now I'm interested. Now I'll come over and take a look at the chart and make that final decision. Do I want to trade this chart? Do I want to? You know, that Jern we were looking at, Jern. Do I want to trade this? No, I don't. I love the chart, by the way. I think the chart's hot. But do I want to trade it? No. Why? The market is up too much. We've got those numbers tomorrow. So I'm going to keep that on my watch list. And when I see it popping up, then I'll buy it. Another thing about the way I trade, I'm never, and I want to repeat this, man, if I could, I guess I could shout it and it would be like all capitals. I never try to pick the bottom. Who cares if you get that bottom? I want it when buyers are stepping in. I've got 25% here that could be made up to this line. What do I care about a percent or two? I don't. Not when there's 25% on the table. So I want to be alerted when it's working, when things are working. You know, things like that. Let's see, Trader X, you put STEM out there. Let's see here. STEM. A good example of what you're saying. That right there is a magnificent chart. I'm going to flag that one. Thank you very much, Trader RX. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So let's take a look at this chart. And let's wait for it. Think about it. Let's wait for it. We've got a trend. That's something I look for. We can clearly see we have a top right here. If you would rather wait for that top, not a problem. Wait for it. The scanner does that, by the way. Wait for it. If you're interested in buying here and it's a particular, some particular price action you're looking at, wait for it. The scanner does that for you, by the way. That's a nice chart. Now me, because the market is up too high, not going to buy. Because of those CPI numbers tomorrow, I'm not going to buy this. What I'm going to do is put this on the watch list, and I'm going to wait for the buyers to step in. Boom. That's what I want. And now, let's go see what this chart can do for us. I'm going to put this back. Where was this? It was right here. We'll put this over here for now. There we go. So now we're going to go over here to the left, and we're going to look for price action targets. These highs over here looks like one. We're just going to put one more up. I'm going to go right over here, about 21.30, these candles. So now let's move this in. We're going to set this trade up, something like that right there. This is a nice chart. Thanks, trader. I'm going to put it right at this candle's body right here. In a perfect world, that's what I would like to see. If I don't get my perfect world and it moves up too far, I can adjust, not a problem. We're looking at almost 40%. So I don't have to buy it right here. I don't have to do that. With a 40% possible move here, wait for it. Put it on the scanner and wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it to tell you it's ready to go. This is why I feel comfortable about saying, you know, I want my stop pretty tight. I want my risk pretty tight because I don't have, my trade is not from here to here. If that's what you're thinking of, you're eating like a bird and you're pooping like an elephant. Write that down, everybody. Write down. Eat like a bird and poop like an elephant. And this is what most traders do. Most traders do this. There's no balance between their intake and and outgo. There's no balance. So for instance, if this is your trade, if you're going to eat like a bird, well, your pooping needs to be pretty freaking small. It needs to be really, really small. Otherwise, you're going to end up pooping out all your nutrients. So it's okay to eat like a bird if you want. It is perfectly fine. Just make sure that your poop matches your intake. But that's not what happens. What happens, most traders that fail, most traders that lose money, most traders that struggles, here's what happens. Because all the tools are out there to give you a good trade. Ed at Live Trading Alerts has done a marvelous job at creating the tools to find the right charts. Okay, that is done. Now it's up to the trader to decide how much you're going to eat and how much you're going to poop. But what happens is a trader takes a little bite and then they end up pooping like this. You can't do that for very long, not continuously. You're going to end up running out of money. So you've got to have balance between intake and outgo. Intake and outgo, balance. All right. So anyway, I sorry to be so graphic about that, but it gets my point across. Very, very good. Great chart, by the way, Trade RX. Appreciate it. Let's see. Over here, Rick B. My problem is learning to draw up a chart the same way to you. Why? Are you, hey, Rick B., are you a member of Hit Run Candlesticks or Right Way Options? Are you? Are you in the free trading room? Well, why don't you ask? I don't recognize your name, Rick B. What's there? How hard is it to draw a chart like this? And I'm being serious. How hard is it to draw a chart like this? It's not. Don't overthink it. Yeah, don't overthink this. And I'm gonna bet you $100. You drew yours like this. All right, I'm gonna copy yours. I'm gonna copy yours. What a stem. Thank you, by the way. Thank you very much, Rick B. So I'm gonna come over here and delete all this. This is Rick B. He drew his like this. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. And there's nothing wrong with what you did. But let me ask you some questions. And I mean a super great big thank you for getting out there. This is the kind of questions right here that helps everybody become a better trader right here. So thank you very, very much. So Rick B., let me ask you a question here. Let's just assume you were going to buy STEM. Forget that trend line, forget anything we talked about. You don't get a choice. You have to buy this in play life, okay, in pretend. Now, in pretend life, now I want you to be real with yourself right now. What is your typical hold time? Typical. Be honest now. This is where you've really got to dig within yourself. I know you're going to be honest, but you have to be truthful with yourself about this. A few days or so. Perfect. Thank you. If you're going to hold this a few days or so, what in the heck are you doing down here? What in the world are you doing down there if you're going to hold it for a few days or so? If you're going to marry this stock, you might get that involved with it. I mean, if you're going to marry it and have a bucket load of kids, that may be what you're looking at. But if you're going to hold this stock a few days or so, here's the chart. This is how you want the chart to look. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And that's all I need. Thank you. You see what I mean? If you're going to trade just a few days, what in the world are you going to look at that for? Make sense? If you're trading for only a few days, by the way, that's what I do. That's all I do right there. Is trade for a few days. That's all I do. What do I care about that trend? I mean, I can see it, good for me. But this is what I'm looking for. By the way, I want to show you what my trend is right there. The trendicator, which, by the way, everybody, is the biggest secret in town. So please do me a favor, okay? I'm going to tell everybody this secret, but do not tell anybody else, all right? Please, I'm asking you, I'm begging you. Let's keep this secret amongst ourselves, okay? Here it is. It's the 17 exponential moving average. Okay, now don't tell anybody. And let me tell you another little secret. Don't tell anybody. There's nothing magic about it. You could use the 20, you could use the 15, you could use the 21, you could use whatever moving average you want. It just needs to be slower than the T line, which is the white line. That's the 8 exponential moving average. The yellow line is the 3 exponential moving average. So, Rick, there's my trend. And I'm going to get rid of that 3 because it's choppy as all get out. And it should be. It always is. That's my trend. So let's do it this way now. Come over here, make this one yellow. And I'm going to draw just in the middle. This is my trend right here. This is my trend. And by the way, this right here is still bullish. That's my trend. I know that you were looking down here, and I get it. But if you're a short-term swing trader, this is what you want to look at. Right here is what you want to look at. I hope that helped. And a double super thank you for your question, okay? Thank you very, very much. All righty. Let's see. What else do we have here? Any other questions? I still have some time left. Thank you. That might be the question and the topic of the week, if you ask me. That was perfect. Thanks. So what else do we have here? Let's look at some trades. ADT. This was one of our trade ideas. So how does anybody feel about trading this stock? If somebody was to say it's moved up too high, I would agree with you. But would I throw this stock away? No. I'm going to tell you another little secret, and please don't tell anybody this secret. I'm going to share with you a secret that could change your trading forever. Okay, I'm dead serious about this. All right. If you're one of these traders that makes great money, great. If you're a trader that's struggling or you just started, this one little thing right here that I'm about to share with you could absolutely turn your trading around. All right. So let's look at ADT. You look at ADT. Oh, crap. I missed it. So now I have to go look at another one. Well, that one's too far gone. I have to look at another one. Oh, hey, that one's okay, but I want to wait for it to move up, you know, that sort of thing. ADT, if you look at a chart and you like the chart and you utter the words to yourself, oh, I missed it. That right there is the chart you want on your watch list. I'm telling you, this is the chart you want on your watch list. This is the chart you want to, what's the words? Wait for it. Just wait for it. Look at ADT here. Wouldn't you have loved to trade that trend right there? Anybody that says no, you're just being a jerk, okay? Of course everybody would like to be in that. We don't need to hear all the, well, I wouldn't buy it down here. Just look at the trend. Don't overthink it. Everybody would like to be in that. Well, how do you know it's not going to do it again? How do you know that? You don't. This is why we take charts that look good, that you've missed, because the ones that you've missed are the ones that look good. Think about that. The ones you've missed are the ones that look good. Think about that. After we finish today, think about that statement. Now wait for it. Set this up for an entry pattern. What's your entry pattern? Mine, I'll tell you exactly what mine is. Mine is a 3/8 trap. Mine is a pullback below the highest high in the past 5 days, a breakout of the 3/8 trap, or a breakout of the highest high in the past 5 days. Those are my entries. Period. I wait for it. I want this on my watch list. I'm going to wait for it. So let's think about this. A breakout in the past 5 days. Has it done that? Yes, it has. Can I buy it now? Why not? Why not? Here's a typical answer. Well, it's moved too much. No, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. We're going to put a stop about right there. Now let me ask you this. Whoops, wrong one. Well, we'll leave that there for now. It's a little much, isn't it? There we go. We're close. Is 3.2% too much to risk? For some, maybe. For most, I'm going to say no. So you haven't missed anything. You haven't missed a doggone thing. That's where your stop is. Now, in a perfect world, would we like it to pull back? We can. Yeah, that is a perfect world. So we wait for it. We put it on the watch list and we wait for the pullback. We wait for an inside day maybe. By the way, you can set up inside days on the alert. Why aren't I buying this now? That's really simple. The market is up too many days and we've got those CPI numbers. So as much as I like APD, ADT, not going to buy it. Really simple. Somebody asked, Rick B was asked, you're here because you want to know how I trade? This is exactly what I do. Exactly what I do. Can I look at ALL? I sure can. ALL. There we go. So, there's our trend, right? Here's a little faster trend. Oh, let's look at this right here. Is it in a trend? Yes, it is. By my account, my trading strategy says yes. Trendicator is green. Remember, don't tell anybody about that. That's a secret. T-line's above the trendicator. So my trend is, oh, by the way, I don't need that stinking thing right there. There's my trend right there. So there we go. Are we moving sideways? Yes, we are. Is it a 3/8 trap? Yes, it is. Is it below the highest high in the past 5 days? Yes, it is. Can I see this downtrend that we're over? Yes. Somebody else might draw a line like this. Are you concerned about that resistance? Actually, no, I'm not. Why aren't I? Because of this right here. Because if I buy this, we'll see if that's going to be my stop. So let's put the buy box in there. Oh yeah, that could be my stop. So there's the buy box. Make this red. Open that up. Whoops. Oh, I did that all wrong, didn't I? Just don't save it and I'll be okay. There we go. I'm going to leave that alone. Just don't save it. So if I was to buy right now, I've got about a 1.55%, actually less than that. 1.4% risk. I've got a 6.3% reward. Why would I be concerned about that resistance? Why? Now, I don't particularly like that chart. I'm not going to take that trade. But the truth of it is, it's doing what I would want it to do. There we go. I hope that helped there, Trade Forever. Can I say that I learned your trick? You can. You absolutely can. Absolutely. Hey, I need to go peek at the market here a little bit. What's going on? Oh, market's trying to hold up a little. Maybe a tiny bit. Long day ahead of us, though. Long day. Okay, any last questions? If not, we'll kind of bring it to an end, unless there's questions. Hello, Mr. Rob. Do you know if the web version of LTA, weeks, months, less away? Oh, that's a question for Ed, okay? I know nothing. I hear nothing. I see nothing. Yeah. Anybody like blue? B-L-U-E? Notice the alert. Not like I didn't have it. I mean, there's my alert right there. Boom, blue, right there. PSTG. Anybody like PSTG? And here's something too. If somebody says, no, you don't like PSTG, I can't for the life of me understand why you say you wouldn't, okay? And here's, let me show you what I mean. You've got a trend. Nice trend, right? Why wouldn't you like it? Now, it may not be ready for an entry for you, but you can't say you don't like the chart. If you're a long trader, then you're all about trends, and it is trending. So you've got to say you like it. Now it's a matter of, is the entry right for you? Is any resistance up here okay for you? But right from the get-go, it's got to be a I like it. Let's see, questions. Oh, here's one. Michael, excuse the long question. I've been learning a lot about Haromi, engulfing dark cloud, morning star, evening stars, using LTA to find them. It's a great tool. Could it make sense to add a 3/8 trap for possible? Absolutely, Michael. Absolutely. Yes. Take SNA. Take it. By the way, just so you know that I wasn't making this stuff up, candlesticks. I have a candlestick scan. Yes. So we have a little bullish engulf here, right? So why can't you say you want a candlestick that is a 3/8 trap? Now, however, I don't think this, I could be wrong. It was earlier today, but it is now breaking out of that 3/8 trap. Okay? So, remember what my 4 entries are. Not that they're the best in the world. They're just mine. That's what I like. I like charts. Here, I'll draw this out. I like charts to buy a 3/8 trap, a 3/8 trap breakout, ding, 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 ding. I like charts that are below the highest high in the past 5 days, that would be the high, right? And I like charts that break out of the highest high in the past 5 days, right there. So really, in a nutshell, I could do that right there. A little high maybe. There we go. That's my entry zone. Absolutely. And I think that's top notch. I think that's a great idea, by the way. Yeah, terrific, great idea. Take BIDU, bullish engulf. And Michael, did you know that I believe, I may be talking a bit out of turn, I believe you can scan for candlestick signals in the past. Say a typical way I would do it would be, I want a bullish engulf maybe in the past 10 days, and I want a 3/8 trap today. That might be a typical way I would look at it. One of the ways I should say, but absolutely. Let's see, Vishu, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Apologize if I'm not. What is a, well, let me go to what's a 3/8 trap, and then they're also asking to interpret the SPY up and VIX up today. I'll talk about that too. So what is a 3/8 trap? Let's just take this ADT since we were talking about it. And let's come over here and clear all that. And let's put the 3 up there. And by the way, folks, I use the 3 exponential high is what I use. I use the high opposed to last price. Okay, it's just a choice. It doesn't mean that it's, the must be. It's just a choice. Okay, so what a 3/8 trap is, let's look at this right here. This is perfect. This is perfection right here. 3/8 trap is when price rallies and pulls back between the 3 and the 8 right in here. Let me change this a little bit. Let's see. I'll make this, there we go. See how it's still not quite how I wanted it. I want to get all that. All right, let's just make it big. There we are. This is a 3/8 trap. This is a 3/8 trap. This is a 3/8 trap. This was actually a 3/8 trap early on in the day. Actually, all of this right here would have been a 3/8 trap. Okay, so rally, pull back, right through there. See how we rallied and we pulled back? This right here would have been a 3/8 trap. There's a 3/8 trap. There's a 3/8 trap today. Here's a breakout of the 3/8 trap. There's a breakout of the 3/8 trap right here. It's a fantastic method for entries. It's a fantastic method for entries. Oh, now, so now the question, let me read this. How would you interpret the SPY up and VIX up today? Okay, first of all, I'm not going to make too much of that. The VIX up and the SPY up, something is going to break. Okay, it's just going to happen. Can it go up at the same time for half the day? Yes, it can. There's the VIX. It's up a little bit today. Absolutely, it can. But something will break. Something will snap. Now, will the VIX snap up or snap down? Yeah. Yeah. And will the SPY snap one way or the other? Yeah. And eventually it will work itself out. Eventually it'll work itself out. I really wouldn't make too much of that. what I would make more of today? Keep it simple, okay? Let's use common sense. Let's not try to overthink the market. And here's what I mean by common sense. Anybody who trades where stocks have been up 4 days in a row and you make money, I'm not going to believe you, okay? You're going to have to prove it to me, and I'm going to have to see your account because I'm really not going to believe you. Anybody who that throws money out there right now when we've got the CPI number coming out tomorrow, I'm going to probably say I don't believe that you make money either. You may make money one time, but you're going to lose your ass the next time. So let's just use common sense. What does the VIX and the SPY have to do with anything today? The market has been up, by my account, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, which I know it's only 4 bars. You've got the CPI number tomorrow. So let's use some common sense. Do we want to be in this market today? Not really. Not at the end of the day. Not with what could be coming tomorrow. As far as the SPY and the VIX goes, something will change. It will not continue that way. Anyway, there's my 2 cents on that. Let's see. Yeah. Hey, Michael, since you asked about those candlesticks, I want to show you what I did. I don't have time in here to explain it in deep explanation, okay? But what I've got is I want to see a bullish engulf prior. I was right. Yeah, bullish engulf prior candle. And so that's a candle yesterday, okay? Morning star, bull piercing candle, bull belt hold, recent bull belt hold, bullish engulf prior. I don't know why I have that twice. I'll fix that. Recent defined morning star. So I've got, I could add if there's any others, I could add them in there. You can do the same thing for the bearish side. And notice I have ORs checked. Everything is an OR. Okay? Everything's an OR. So it's a bullish engulf or a morning star or a bullish piercing candle. So what I can do is I can go through here and everything here should qualify one way or another. All right. Now, like I say, I don't have time to go over, any details or anything right here today, but I certainly, I know you're in the hit and run room, so I'll be more than happy to go over it there in a little more detail if you need to. Yeah. What else we got? 2 more questions. Anybody? And then I've got to go. Ed's going to kick me out of here. I'm getting that 2-minute warning on the quarter that I put in the machine. Hey, I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Remember these words. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for the trade. Let it come to you. Never be in a hurry. Never be in a hurry. NIO. Look at NI go. Has anybody missed NIO? For this moment in time, yes. Do you think NIO could go to 28? You know, it doesn't matter whether you think that or not. I'm telling you, it's possible. So, all you've got to do is wait for it. Wait for your setup, your entry setup. Wait for your entry setup. That's all you got to do. And NIO is on my watch list, by the way. That's how I need to go look at it. Okay, let's see here. TCOM is moving up. Alrighty, I'm going to jet out of here. Thank you very much. James, thank you. Thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to take off. If you guys want to hang around in the LTA room, I think Ed will hang around there if you have questions, setups. Remember, there is a 14-day free trial for LTA. I want to emphasize the word free. I don't even believe Ed even takes your credit card, so it's literally free. And both Ed and I'm here if you need some help to help set it up. I would encourage that you ask for our help. I would encourage that you don't try to do it on your own. And then on the 13th day, you get frustrated. Don't do that. Download it today. Ask for our help tomorrow. Just like that. And maybe even ask today. And I say our help. Ask for Ed's help. I'm here. I will do whatever I can to help Ed out and to help you set up the scanner. Please don't try to do it on your own. It won't work out so well. I'm not going to lie to you about it. Alrighty. Thanks, everybody. Download that thing. Get the tools that work and become a successful trader. Wait for it. We'll see everybody later, okay? Take care. Thank you.